Hello, Rob.
How's it? Good evening. How are you?
Rob?
Baruch Hashem.
Hello, Rabbi.
How's it, Janet? How are you? How are you enjoying the Yom Tov?
And you?
Baruch Hashem. Good, good.
Everyone enjoying Yom Tov?
Are we the only ones on?
No, people coming.
Yeah, they come. Yeah,
I need
come.
to admit each one. You see, that's the only problem. They change a bit the system, so I need to admit everyone. Sorry.
Oh.
You know, I need to admit everyone personally. You know, as they coming, I need to give
at a time.
join.
Okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
Okay, so
that doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? So I need to. You know what I'm saying? How are you? How you guys doing? Who's with us? First of all, let's see. Oh, Gabriel. Gabriel, thank you for joining us. Ivor, thank you for joining us. Who else with us? Mark. Oh, Dr. Les is with us. Thank you, Les. Thank you for joining us. Hagim Uzmanim Lesason. How are you?
Baruch Hashem, all good.
Good. Stephen there. Hello, Stephen. Mr. Kabetsnik, thank you for joining us. Okay, so I tell you what, I'm not going to delay a lot the show. And I tell you, as people gonna join us, I'm gonna bring them in to join us. I'm gonna admit them. So first of all, I would like to take the opportunity to wish all of you Moadim Lesimcha. And also, I would like to dedicate the shiur today in honor of Rabbi Tenza, Leilui Nishmat Arab Abraham Haim Ben Eliezer Yaakov, ולעילוי נשמת אסתר קדן בת קטיה, our friend Moti Mordechai Ben Rahma, and our friend Joe Brook, Yosef Yona Ben Temadobra. And לרפואת, and now we're going to do in health of Liora Bat Miriam, Menashe Naji Ben Farha. Also לרפואת Golda Ital Bat Shulamit Leah.
Did you get one?
Sorry? Anyone want to add up in help of someone? Because I'm soon going to mute everyone and no one. Okay, I'm going to mute everyone and we're going to start the show. Okay, so the thing that we're going to speak today, we're going to speak about the 4 species and the shaking of the lulav. Why do we have to take 4 species? We have to understand. Number 2, why do we have to shake the lulav? And shaking of the lulav that I'm referring to, why do we shake to the south, the north, the east, and the west? What's hiding behind all of it? We're going to try, Be'ezrat Hashem, today to explain the mystical point of view behind all of it. But first, let's start, where's the source? The source to take the 4 species come from Sefer Vayikra in Parashat Emor in chapter 23, verse 40. And the Torah tells us like this, Ulkahtem lachem bayom harishon, that you should take to yourself on the first day, Pri Etz Hadar, kapot temarim, ve'anaf etz avot ve'arve nahal. From here, Hazal learn that we obligated to take number 1, Pri Etz Hadar, the dates, the lulav, kapot mari, that's the etrog, kapot etz marim, that's the lulav, anav, it's avot, that's the hadassim, that's the mortals, okay, and arve nahat, it's the willow. Okay, now we have to understand what is the 4 species. Okay, Arbaat Aminim represent. So Hazal in Midrash Vayikra Rabbah in chapter 30, verse 12, they're suggesting that the 4 species actually represent, they're suggesting that the 4 species actually representing 4 different kind of sector, okay, in a Jewish religion, in a Jewish people. For example, the etrog, okay? The etrog represents, first of all, let's explain what is the etrog. Etrog, it's something that has smell and taste. If you smell the etrog, you can smell it, it have a nice smell. If you taste it, it have a taste. Hazal said that that's represent the tzaddikim in a Jewish religion. That means in a Jewish state, okay, we should have tzaddikim, like any other states, okay. Hazal tell us that the etrog represent the tzaddikim. What does it mean, tzaddikim? Those people that study Torah and doing gmilut hasadim. That they're doing both of the main mitzvot, that mean Torah and gmilut hasadim. The Luvav, everyone understand what is Luvav? Luvav, it awards the dates that have a taste, but doesn't have smell. And Hazal suggests that that awards those people, okay, that basically have Torah, that study Torah, but because they're so busy studying, they don't have time to do mitzvot, they don't have time to do chesed. That's the Luvav. Hadas, what we call it, the mortal, okay, that have a smell but doesn't have taste. Exactly the opposite from the Luvav. Hazal suggests that that's awards the kind of people in Jewish religion that they have a lot of mitzvot. What it means mitzvot? Mitzvot of chesed, that they do chesed, but they don't have Torah. And the fourth species, that's the Arava. Arava is the willow, okay? Hazal suggests that that awards those people that empty for mitzvot, okay, and ma'asim tovim. What does it mean? They're not studying Torah and they don't do chesed. And a matter of fact, Hazal call them rashaim. Why you don't study Torah? And if you say you can't study Torah, at least do chesed. None of them you're doing. That's considered as a rasha. So we see from here that Hazal in a Midrash Rabbah on Sefer Vayikra suggests that the four species that we actually taking on Sukkot, they're representing different sector in a Jewish, okay? Other opinion is that come also from Midrash Rabbah, but this time it's the same chapter 30, but verse 14. And I saw that also that the Zohar HaKadosh on Sefer Bereshit in page 220, folio 2, bring it. And he said, matter of fact, that the four species represent four important organs in a human being. The heart, that represents the etrog, that the person must keep his heart pure. The Luvav, okay, that represents the spine, to come to tell you that when you do business, when you conduct a business, it should be straight. Whatever you do in life, you should do it straight. Hadas, that's the mortal towards the eyes, because it's look like eyes. Come to tell you that you should not look at things that you have a prohibition to look, that you're not allowed to look. Then we have the willow. The willow look like a lips. If you look at the leaf of the willow, it look like a lips. It's come to tell you to refrain, number one, from eating non-kosher food, and from refraining from not speaking Lashon Hara. So we see from here something very nice, that we have two different opinions. That number one, the four species represent different sector in the Jewish religion. Number two, represent different organ, the different four important organ in the body. What is the meaning? So why are we taking that? The secret of binding the four species together come to teach us two important things. The first one that we say award the four different people in the Jewish sector, it's come to tell you something very important, that there is different people. There is Faradim, there is Ashkenazim, there is the Hasiduyot, there is the Yeke, all different kind of people that They belong to the army of Hashem. And each one of them have a different way, okay, to serve Hashem. It's come to tell you, you take all of those Jewish people from all different sectors and you put them together and you create unity. That means that the job of the Jewish people to create unity. And we'll see why is it so important just now. So the four species, by that we're bounding together, it's come to tell us that we should accept and we should, although that I don't agree with his way or with his idea, but I must accept them and I must put them, we must be one nation and we must be united. That's the one idea. The second idea that we have is we say towards the organ. Here we coming to thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu and praise him for all the goodness and that those four main organ functioning, the heart, the spine, so we can walk, the eyes that we can see, the mouth that we can eat from. We come in to thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu for all of his kindness and all of his compassion with us. That means to say thank you to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Also, here we're showing to HaKadosh Baruch Hu that we in control of the four main species. That means the four main important organ, and we are actually in control of them to worship HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Now I would like to move to a different level, on a higher level, okay? What is hiding behind the shaking of the Lulav and Etrog? I'm going to start with a pshat, then I'm going to go a bit higher, and I'm going to go to the Sfirot. So please concentrate with me. If you have any question, just send me a message and I'll stop and I'll explain. What is mean? Why are we shaking? Okay, according to the pshat of the Dvarim, as I explained earlier, we're shaking the Lulav and the Etrog towards the fourth wind of heaven. That means north, actually we're starting south, north, east, west. And we'll explain what we're doing with each one and which one is attributed to which person and which kind of a character, okay, which attribute it represents. So according to the pshat of the Dvarim, it's come to tell us that after Rosh Hashanah that we daven hard and we ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu for abundance, prosperity. We're asking HaKadosh Baruch Hu to bring it down. That's basically on the pshat of the Dvarim. We say bring all the abundance from heaven down to earth to us. But another suggestion that Chas v'Shalom, if there is a decree on the Jewish people, what it means a decree on the Jewish people, that if the Jewish people have a bad decree on them, and we're asking HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the merit of this mitzvah that we're shaking, keep the decree away from us. If it's from up, if it's coming from the south, if it's coming from the north, or if it's coming from the east, or if it's coming from the west, from the top and from the bottom, we're asking HaKadosh Baruch Hu, please, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, stop those decree and don't bring them down. That's according to the pshat of the Dvarim. But we have to understand what's hiding behind it. As you all know, as I explained, we take the Lulav and we shake it to the south, the north, the east, and the west. The Sfaradim actually turn their body, the Ashkenazim hold it, and they put it backwards, that towards the south, okay, towards the front is the north, the right, if you stand, because you have to stand towards the north, that means the right is the east, the left is the west, and while you're in the east, you're facing the east, okay, you lifting up and then down and up, okay. That's basically the sequence of the shaking of the Lulav. But we have to understand why Dafka the south first, the north second, and then east. And in the east, we have something very interesting that not only forward, we also lifting it up and then down and up. What's hiding behind it? Be'ezrat Hashem, we'll try to explain that. And I'm going to actually bring the 7 emotional attribute, okay, with it, and we'll try to understand. So first of all, we mentioned that we're shaking the lulav to the south. Why dafka to the south? Because the south represents the attribute of Hesed. What it reads, Hesed, that means living kindness. And that's towards Avraham Avinu, that we start with Hesed. That Avraham Avinu was the man of kindness, kindness living. He used to do Hesed with everyone. So we're taking the lulav and we're shaking it in a merit of Avraham Avinu to receive the abundance, okay, and the prosperity. Then we shake it to the north. The north, that's a word, it's Hakavinu. It's Hakavinu, it's Midat HaGvura. What it means, Midat HaGvura? That means justice and discipline. We're saying that, Has v'shalom, if there is any decree on the Jewish people, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, remember that Yitzhak Avinu was the one that was willing to sacrifice himself on the Akedah, to give himself. In merit of Yitzhak Avinu, don't bring down any judgment against the Jewish people. Why dafka to the north? We have to understand. What's so special about the north? Hazal tell us mitzafon, that means from the north. Okay, Tetzara, that from the north, usually all the problems start. Then we turn to the east. When we turning to the east, that's towards Yaakov Avinu, okay, and he's the character trait of Tiferet. What it means, Tiferet? Beauty and harmony. That means when we turn ourselves, or we turn the lulav to the east, we're pulling it 3 times. Why dafka to the east and why dafka Yaakov Avinu? Hazal explained that when Yaakov Avinu have his dream, you remember when he ran from Esav Avinu and he left the house of his parents, he will run towards Har HaMoriah. Where did he sleep? In the east. Where is the east? Har HaMoriah. Now, we here in South Africa, we in the south. When we davening, where we davening? Towards the north. Why? Because Eretz Israel is in the north. And when you're in Eretz Israel, where do you daven? Towards the east. Why? Because Jerusalem is in the east. Because Bet HaMikdash is in the east. So to tell you that Yaakov Avinu, when he had his dream, where did he dreamt it? On Har HaMoriah. Har HaMoriah is in the east. Okay, now we understand. Then come the shaking while we still pointing or facing the east. We actually shaking the lulav up, okay, up and down, okay. Now that's towards the character trait midat hanetzach. What does it mean? Okay, that's mean the how you call it, ambition. That's called ambition. That's it. Ambition or endurance. That's what it's called midat netzach. Okay. Why dafka to the top? And why dafka Moshe Rabbeinu that have to face midat hanetzach? Chazal explained, the mystical Rabbi explained, who gone up to heaven to bring the Torah? Moshe Rabbeinu. So what we saying, in the merit of Moshe Rabbeinu that gone up to heaven, that's why we shaking the lulav up, we pointing up, okay? That HaKadosh Baruch Hu, please, in the merit of that Moshe Rabbeinu gone up to heaven and brought down the Torah, remember that merit to bring the abundance. Then, while we're still facing to the east, we taking the lulav and shaking it from the down to the top. And that's towards Aaron HaKohen. Aaron HaKohen is the character trait of Hod. What it mean, Hod? Humility. Why dafka from down to top? That when Moshe Rabbeinu gone up to heaven, who stayed here on earth while Moshe Rabbeinu was in heaven? Aaron and Hur. We know that Aaron stay here, and he replaced Moshe Rabbeinu to become the leader of the Jewish people. That's why we shake, Rabotai, the Lulav, while we're facing to the east, down and up, from down to the top. Then come the final shaking, we turn to the west, okay? And that's a word, Yosef HaTzadik, that it's Midat HaYesod. What it means, Midat HaYesod? It's bonding and foundation. Okay, we turn to the west, and that's where we shake. Immediately, all of you are going to ask, whoa, what's happening here? Where is David HaMelech? David HaMelech is the 7 Ushpizin, the 7 visitors. Where is he? We mentioned 6 Ushpizin. Where is David HaMelech? So we have to explain, David HaMelech, his attribute, his Malchut. What it means, Malchut? Nobility. David HaMelech actually received all the prosperity and all the abundance from who? Because he's a king. He received all the abundance and all the prosperity from who? From the rest of the 6 characters. That's the rest of the 6 Ushpizin, that's Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov, Moshe, Aaron, and Yosef. That means David HaMelech received it. He doesn't have it. Because he doesn't have it, okay, and he received all the abundance from the rest of the attribute, we don't have to shake for him. Okay, now we understand that he received all the rest, okay, or he received all the abundance from the rest of the emotional attribute. That's what we call sfirot. But we understand that. Now I would like to go with you a bit higher level to understand what's happening. We say, number 1, at the beginning, according to the pshat of the Dvarim, the Lulav and the Etrog, it's a word, the different people in a Jewish sector. Then we say it's a word, different organs, okay? Then we say that the Lulav and the Etrog have different sfirot. What it means, okay, that's the 7 emotional attributes. Okay, and how does it work? And now we're going to go deeper. I'm trying to do something that I've never done before with you. I'm speaking to you a bit on a different level and a higher level. Please try to concentrate and focus with that. So we say that we have a Lulav. A Lulav is a single. Then we have the Etrog is also single. Remember, 2 single. Then come the Hadass, the mortal. The mortals, they are triple. Who they're representing. Then we have the willow, that we take 2 willow, the couple. Who those couple? And Be'ezrat Hashem, now we try to understand. The Lulav that is a single represent Yosef HaTzadik, that he's awards the attribute, okay, of bounding and foundation. That in the merit of the Yesod, that mean of his, that he God, he himself, not to sin and immorality, it's called Yesod. That's the foundation of the Jewish people. Okay? We understand that. That means that Yosef HaTzadik, okay, is bounding and foundation. Okay. Let's move on. Then we have the Etrog. The Etrog, it's also single. Who is it represent? It represents the attribute of nobility, that's Malchut, David HaMelech. Then come the Hadass, that is triple. The Hadass represent the 3 fathers, Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. That they award the different attribute. The one is Hesed, that's Abraham Avinu, loving kindness. Then come Yitzhak Avinu, that's Gvura, that's justice and discipline. And the third one, that Yaakov, that's Tiferet, that means beauty and harmony, that's the third attribute. That's who? Remember, that awards the mortals. Then come the couple. What it means, the couple? That's the arava, that we took two aravot and we put together. Okay? And there was Moshe and Aaron. Moshe Rabbeinu and Aaron HaKohen. Netzach, the attribute of Netzach, that means Netzach, it's Moshe Rabbeinu, and that's ambition, okay, and endurance. That's Moshe Rabbeinu. That's the attribute of ambition and endurance. Then come Midat HaYesod, okay, that awards Aaron, okay, that Aaron, okay, represent humility. That means if we stop for a second and start to summarize what we learned so far, we take in number one, the four species as the Torah tell us. And by the way, I just want to say something just to explain that the mitzvah of the four species is only on the first day of Sukkot. That's from the Torah. It's a positive command from the Torah only on the first day. After the destruction of Beit HaMikdash, Rabban Yochanan ben Zakkai constitute that we should take it on the rest of Chol HaMoed, the rest of the 6 days of Chol HaMoed. Okay, in the diaspora is more. Why? He said to remind us that when Beit HaMikdash was exist, they used to take it all the 7 days, but that was only in Beit HaMikdash. But today that we don't have Beit HaMikdash, it's a decree, it's a rabbinical decree to take the Lulav and Etrog, okay, on Chol HaMoed. Okay. So now we understand all of that. I'm going to move on. So if we summarize what we say, if we try to understand what we learned today, that mean that we take in the Lulav and the Etrog to create unity in a Jewish people. Number one. Number two, to show and to praise HaKadosh Baruch Hu for his kindness and for his compassion, that our organ, that the four main organs in our body functioning, okay? And number two, to show that we're in control of them. And then we're shaking them. What it means shaking them? That means that we taking what we call it, the 7 emotional attribute, okay? With the ushpizin, that visitors, that's the meaning of the word ushpizin, that in the merit of the unity and praising HaKadosh Baruch Hu and showing him that we're in control, we also bring in the ushpizin, the 7 ushpizin, that's the 3 fathers, Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov, Moshe ve'Aaron, Yosef HaTzadik, and David HaMelech. And we taking them with the attribute, with the 7 emotional attribute, okay, together we bonding together and we shaking. And we saying to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we are united. We want to be redeemed. And Hazal tell us in Midrash Rabbah in Parashat Emor, he explained there's something extraordinary. He said that in the merit ulkahtem lachem bayom harishon pri etz hadar, that we taking the 4 species and we bonding together and we shake them, okay? We basically saying to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, in the merit of this, please send us Mashiach. And Be'ezrat Hashem, that we should all merit to see Mashiach speedily in our days, Amen, Ken Yeh Ratzon. That means in the merit of the 4 species that we taking together and we bonding together, in the merit that we take in the ushpizin, the 7 visitors, in the merit that we take in the 7 emotional attributes that we mentioned them, all of those together, we're saying to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, look, we're fulfilling that important mitzvah that you ask us to do. We're taking with us all of those important visitors, okay? And we're creating unity in the Jewish sector, okay? We're thanking you for everything. Please bring down the abundance and the prosperity that we ask in Rosh Hashanah. But from the other way, please, don't bring down the bad decree. And that's what the Zohar HaKadosh say. Ma'ale u'morid, molich u'mevi. What it means? Ma'ale u'morid, molich u'mevi. It means, first of all, we straightforward, and then we bring it back to our heart to show that our heart is clean. Then we're lifting up and we're bringing it down. We're saying to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Has v'shalom, if there is any bad decree that can come, okay, from four, I forgot the name, how you call it, from the four distance of the world, okay, the wind of the world, okay, please don't bring him down. That if there is any bad decree, that it's from the top, it's from the north, from the south, from the east, from the west, don't bring it on us. Not only that, in Has v'Shalom, there is a decree from the top, or decree that come from earth on us. We don't want to see it. Please stop it. So that means that the job of the shaking of the lulav is to bring down prosperity. Number two is to stop bad decree against us, said the Zohar, the Kabbalistic rabbi. La'atzor tlalim ra'im v'mazikim ra'im. Not only that, we're asking HaKadosh Baruch Hu, but if there is a brocha and abundance that you want to bring down on us, in the merit of the ushpizin, in the merit of the 7 emotional attributes that we're doing awards you, and look at our unity, that every sector, that's mean in the Jewish people, that's mean every Jewish person that there is, okay? In the merit of all of them, that we unite them and we control our 4 important organs, and the most important, we're praising you that everything is functioning. Please bring down, if it's from the 4 winds of heaven, or from down, or from the top, bring on us all of this prosperity and all of this abundance. And by Ezrat Hashem, that the main abundance that we want to see, the main important things that we should daven, is to see Mashiach Tzidkenu speedily in our day, Amen Ken Yeh Ratzon. And we should all please God merit to go to Bet HaMikdash to celebrate together there, together Hag Sukkot. If anyone have any question, please unmute yourself and ask question.
Wow, shkoyach, Rav. Thank you so much. What an amazing shiur.
Thank you, Dr. Les. It's nice
Very much.
first of all, be with us. Tell me, how is the lockdown going? Give us some update. What's cooking on?
Well, on the positive side, we have a minyan every day, 3 times a day. Last night we had the celebrations in our street, all social distancing, everyone with masks on. But there were one very high profile Likud member that drove all the way to Tveria, Gamliel. So, people, and then there's from the Mossad as well. Somebody was also broke the rules. So people don't have too much faith in the government, to be honest. But they're doing their best. Everybody's doing their best. They're doing their best. So we keep our distance. We wear masks. We're very careful. And, when people say about the Frum community that they're not really complying, it's not really true. I see a lot of compliance. What is Meshuggah is that you still have the protest, which is absolutely unbelievable. Nobody can understand why. Because how can you go and protest, but you can't all go to the kotel? It just doesn't make sense. So, only Hashem knows them. Yeah. But when people speak badly about the Frum community, it's not really that true at all. The people that I know and invite for guns very from, people are very careful. That's from our personal view.
No, Baruch Hashem, I'm happy to hear that. We're always happy to hear the update on Eretz Israel from you. It's very nice to know that. And it's very important that you give, how you call it, a very, very straightforward opportunity. And you tell us exactly, from a fair point of view, what everyone thinking and how people treat the religious people. And I think that those demonstrations, like you mentioned, before they come and blaming the religious sector or the religious people that they are to blame, but you go in and demonstrating what you want the government to do, to let people die.
Yeah.
What exactly they
So-
want? That's they have no
No,
answer when you ask them that.
They're very anti-Bibi. They're very anti. So it's a political agenda. But Rob, can I just mention
Exactly.
something incredible? My brother-in-law, he got the virus from his kids. They live in Ramat Beit Shemesh, and I saw him as a patient. So thank God he didn't get it badly. But I went to have myself tested, and they have a drive-in test. It's unbelievable between the Teddy Stadium and the Pass Arena. You take your car, you organize your appointment, and you just drive. And then they do a swab in the mouth and in the nose in the car. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
That
And
can
then
be
I got the results. It's really, when they do it right. And the people were so nice, and Baruch Hashem, I was negative, but we're still very careful. You were very careful. So
Baruch Hashem,
but
I'm
it was
happy to
unique.
hear that negative. And please God, this kind of a virus, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will take it from the world. We don't wish it to anyone. You know what I'm saying? We
It's
don't wish it to any Jews. We don't wish it to any nation. And Be'ezrat Hashem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will say enough to that decree on the Jewish people. Be'ezrat Hashem, in the merit that we take in the Lulav, the Etrog, the Hadas, and Arava, the 4 species as we learn, and we explain the mystical point of view behind it. HaKadosh Baruch Hu will stop all that difficult virus that there is in the world that no one knows what is it, where is it come from, and how's it happen. We're wishing that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will send us Mashiach Tzidkenu, and then we'll have enough from all the difficulties. Now I would like to give some time. If you have any question regarding Sukkot or the 4 species, by the way, just to advertise, if any one of you need Aravot, I still have few Aravot that if your Arava is dry, you can come and fetch it for me for free. I managed to get some, so if you need, with pleasure. Any other question, please unmute and ask question if you have regarding Sukkot or regarding the 4 species. I would love to try and answer. Bechavod. Okay, I see no question. Who trying to ask? Anyone trying to ask?
No, just thank you, Rav. We appreciate it's what you teach us.
Okay,
Really
I hope
do.
that you enjoy the show.
Yeah.
I hope that you get a lot of benefit from the 4 species, why are we shaking and what they represent. And Be'ezrat Hashem, that we should all soon gonna be together, not only in the shul, in Mikdash. Be'ezrat Hashem, Amen. Can hear it. Yes. Who's
it's
that?
Anthony here. Anthony.
How are you, Anthony?
All right, how are you?
Baruch
I want to know
Hashem,
2
Yom
questions. Why do we not take the Lulav and Etrog on Shabbos?
Okay, and what's the second question?
And the other one is, why do we say Shechianu in the first day on the brocha? Why do we always say Shechianu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh? Why do we always say that brocha when we take it for the first time?
Okay. Good. So let's answer first question first. Why on Shabbat we don't carry the Lulav and Etrog? Hazal tell us, Shema, that you might gonna carry the Lulav and Etrog 4 amot, that means 2 meters, in Reshut HaRabim. That means that you're gonna take the Lulav and Etrog from your own belonging. That means that that's Reshut HaYachid. That means that that's where you live, to Reshut HaRabim. Or Mirshut HaRabim leReshut HaYachid. That means not to carry the Lulav and Etrog 4 amot ברשות הרבים, in the public dimension. That means that Hazal make that decree that on Shabbat you should not carry the Lulav and Etrog, because you might going to carry the Lulav and Etrog 4 amot, that's 2 meters in public dimension. That's for the first question. We're not allowed. Why is Muktzeh? Number 2, why do we say Shechianu? Shechianu for every new thing that we do, for example, when we eat matzah, when we sit in a sukkah, for example, and etc. Chazal tell us that Shehiyanu v'kiyimanu v'gi'anu lazaman hazeh. You say that blessing, that it's a year since I've done it, okay, and I'm merit to live another year to do this mitzvah again, and that's why we say Shehiyanu. Okay, that we
Thanks
thank
very
you
much.
that we live an extra year. Pleasure. Any other question, Rabotai? Anyone would like to ask any other question? No, in that case, I would like to wish each one of you personally, Moadim Lesimcha, that you should enjoy the rest of Sukkot, Be'ezrat Hashem. Tomorrow night it's Hoshana Rabbah, and then it's Sukkot. That's why our shiur earlier tonight instead of tomorrow night, because tomorrow night everyone go and study, people will be busy. So I didn't want to disturb anyone, because some of you most probably gonna go to shul, whoever gonna go to shul. So I would like to take a personal time from you to wish you all Hag Sameach. May please God, we'll see Mashiach Tzidkenu speedily in our day. Amen. Ken Yehi Ratzon.
Amen. Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you.
All the best. All the best. Moadim Lesimcha, and have a good night. Enjoy the rest of the Yom Tov. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Bye-bye.